The corner of Swarnapur where Maya lived was hidden from the world's eyes. The villagers called her jinxed because misfortune had cast a shadow over her home after her father's death. But Maya had no time for tears. She would venture into depths of the forest from which most never returned. That night, while chopping wood, her axe suddenly struck something metallic instead of dry timber. Maya saw a wounded bird in the bushes with wings like gold, but a body soaked in blood. "Have you also been deemed worthless by this world?" she whispered softly while placing a cloth on its wound. Suddenly the bird transformed into a glowing light, and a fairy appeared with eyes that held a test rather than a smile. "You haven't saved me but your own future. I will give you 3 trials instead of 3 wishes." The fairy asked. "The first trial, what do you desire?" And without hesitation, Maya asked for her mother's suffering to end. In the distant hut, the coughing ceased, and the fairy looked deeper into Maya as she began the second trial. "Now tell me, power or wealth?" the fairy asked, to which Maya replied that she wanted the wisdom to defeat any power. The fairy's eyes turned a pale orange as she warned, "You aren't choosing the easy path. The third trial will not be simple. You must enter the court where everyone will be prepared to humiliate you, and there you must prove yourself without any supernatural powers," the fairy said before vanishing. A few days later, King Veerbhadra's royal chariot got stuck in the mud along the village road. Soldiers, ministers, and engineers all failed. Then Maya's voice rose from the crowd. "If I may have permission, I would like to try." Everyone burst into laughter, mocking that the girl the village calls a jinx was now going to teach the king. But Prince Aditya did not stop her, and Maya stepped forward to examine the ground and the wind's direction. She built a simple lever system using sticks and stones, and with one firm push, the chariot rolled out. The crowd fell silent as Maya remarked, "Those who only look at strength fail to see the solution." Chief Minister Vikram had fear in his eyes, while King Veerbhadra carefully observed the wisdom of this simple girl. The king stepped down from the chariot and said that today she had achieved what even his best engineers could not. The chief minister called it a coincidence, but the king replied, "Coincidence is just another name for intelligence, minister." Prince Aditya was watching a village girl stand with such immense self-confidence for the very first time. The king announced that a test of knowledge would be held in the royal court in 3 days. If this girl is truly worthy, she will prove herself before the entire kingdom. The news spread through the village like wildfire. People continued to mock her, but Maya remained perfectly calm. That night, she sat outside her hut, gazing at the sky, when that same golden glow drifted through the air. The fairy's voice echoed, "The third trial has begun." 3 days later, the grand court of Swarnapur was shimmering with light. Prince Aditya stood to his right, while a strange smirk played in the eyes of Chief Minister Vikram. Maya walked slowly to the center of the vast hall and stood there as the entire court fell silent. The king said in a grave voice, "Maya, today I will ask you a riddle that no one has been able to answer until now." The king asked, "What is the one thing that increases the more you share it?" All the scholars in the court were lost in thought, but Maya answered in a calm voice, "Knowledge." Upon hearing this, the entire court was stunned, and the king rose from his throne exclaiming, "Correct answer." Admiration sparked in Prince Aditya's eyes as he smiled and said, "Swarnapur has found a true guide today." The king announced in a loud voice that Maya would now be the chief advisor of Swarnapur. The entire court erupted in applause, and Chief Minister Vikram's face fell in defeat. When the news reached the village, everyone was astonished, and the very people who mocked her began to take her name with pride. Standing in the distance, the golden fairy smiled and whispered softly, "The third trial is complete, Maya."